Hey guys, welcome to Self-Publishing 101. I'm your host, KB Miller. Today we're going to be talking about ebook formatting. Ebook formatting and print book formatting are two separate things, so we're just going to do ebook formatting today because print book formatting is a little bit more in-depth and I don't want to confuse you. So let's stick with one. Okay. One of my pet peeves is to see an ebook that's not been formatted properly. And there's only a few reasons that would occur. If the author put it up and did not know how to format properly. And there are ways to rectify that. But it is your job as an author to make sure that your book goes out to the best of its potential quality as possible. I don't want to read a book that's A, not been beta read, that's B, not been edited, or C, that's not been properly formatted. I don't want to put my money out for it, and I don't want my fans to put their money out for one of my books that has those dilemmas as well. So I'm going to help you with the ebook formatting. Underneath of this blog, you're going to see a ton of pictures. And under each picture, there's a description. And it shows you exactly what I'm telling you now. So that way, if you want to go back and re-listen to this again, you can, and then you can actually see what I'm talking about because it's easier for me to do it that way for you guys. I want you guys to be able to see actually what I'm doing. And the document, I created a fake document for Little Red Riding Hood. And all I did was made it so that it was 2 pages because I wanted you to be able to see how we put the title in, the licensing, the copyrights, how it should be set up for you for going into Smashwords, because that's what we're going to work on first is Smashwords. And if you do it this way, this is how I've tried doing it a couple different ways. Like I did it formatted for Amazon first, and then it wouldn't pass Smashwords AutoVetter, and there's a reason for that. So I found that if you do the Smashwords document first, it's just easier, and I'll explain to you and show you how. Okay. So first thing you're going to see when you look on this document is our title. Now, this title should not be more, or the font should not be higher than an 18. Anywhere on your document, your font should not be higher than an 18-point font. And usually what I do is I'll do the title at an 18 font, the subtitle and my name at a 16 font, chapter headers at a 14 font, and then my regular text at a 12 font for ebook, because print book, as I said, is very different. So let's start there, and I have all of them listed for you, the font sizes. Now I will tell you this, I know we all love the little swirlies and things like that. If you are not working in, at least I've not had luck, when you're working on a Word document, when you're setting it up, don't put those swirly things in there, because when it goes over to Smashwords, it just comes up as a block, literally like just a little square block, and it kind of looks ridiculous, so don't do it. Now I know that there's, because I have Photoshop CS6, and one of my programs is, see if I can find it. One of the programs I have on here is Crikey, mate. I can't remember which one of these programs it is. I will find out and put it on the blog and add it underneath. One of the programs is, I think it's InDesign. Allows you to go in and put those swirlies in there. You have to be really, really careful because sometimes Smashwords will reject it. And in order to get onto iTunes, Kobo, Sony, and if you choose to go through Barnes & Noble via Smashwords, even on Barnes & Noble, those little swirlies and stuff will come up as a square a lot of the time, so be careful with that. Okay, so when we set up our document, before we do anything, we're going to go up to the top where it says, you'll see across the bottom, it says clipboard, font, and paragraph. I want you to go to paragraph, and you need to set up your document appropriately. And this is all you're going to have to do if you listen to these instructions that I'm giving you. And I also have the Smashwords style guide, and there's a link to it under this so that you can read it. If you follow these quick tips, these quick little tricks, I still suggest that you read the style guide because things update and improve all the time, but this will pass AutoVetter for you. If you go into paragraph, first page that's going to pop up is indents and spacing. Now, general for your alignment should be left. If you do it justified, it's going to spread your words out like this. So if you only have a sentence that has like 5 words up here, and then you have a sentence down here that has like 20 words, this sentence up here is going to look completely spaced and spread. It's not cool. So you always justify to the left. The other thing is, I always use special, and I click the first line. And for an ebook, it's industry standard is anywhere between 0.3 to 0.5. I like to go in the middle and go 0.4, just because I'm safe either way. Now, when I do print, that's a completely different thing, because if you're doing a 6x9 book, a 0.4 looks fine. If you're doing a 5x8 print book, 0.4 brings it almost over to the middle of the page, so we don't want to do that. So, like I said, we'll get to print in a little, I'll do that in another episode that I'll actually be taping after this one, but you'll see in another episode. So let's do first line, and then right next to it, it says by, and it'll give you the option. First pops up at 5. Take it down to 0.4, 0.3, or 0.5, whatever you feel comfortable with. You're going to have to play with it and see. The spacing, it should be 0 point on both of those, before and after. Line spacing is the next one. If you want single spaced, you click single spaced. If you want 1.5, you click 1.5. If you want it double spaced, you do whatever you want. I particularly don't care for, when I'm writing, I like it to be 1.5 space. It just gives me a little bit more room to look, and if there's a glaring error, I will see it. And for Smashwords, there's a little box that says, don't add space between paragraphs of the same style. Click that, because we don't want to add a space. Now you're good on that page. Don't go down and click OK yet. I want you to click line and page breaks. And I want you to come over here to text box options. You're going to drop down because it's going to say pagination, formatting exceptions, and text box options. You want to make sure on type wrap it says none, because we want no text box. Text box is one short, quick way to get you kicked back through AutoVetter. Once you've done what I've just said, you're going to click Set as Default. When you click Set as Default, it will come up, do you want to set the default alignment, indentation, spacing of the paragraphs for this document only, or all documents based on the normal template? I always click for this document only, because if I'm not doing something that is book related and I want it however I want it, I'm just like that. So there you go. Okay, now you have just set your document up for Smashwords. Fabulous, right? But there are those of you out there that have already set up your documents, or didn't set up your documents, just started typing your story out, and you used the dreaded tabs. Smashwords will kick back if you've used tabs. If you've used the return key or the space key to center something, not the return key, the space key to center something, they will kick it back because it will throw the formatting off. So if you're trying to center something with a space key or a tabs, no, absolutely not. They'll kick it back. So at the top where it says paragraphs again on your document, you'll see where it's got the align left text, center align text, right align text, or justified text. The center align text, when we want to move our title over, right before our title, we click right before our title. Then we click that center adjust text. It will move it over for us. It'll center it for us. And that will not be kicked back from Smashwords. So this is really simple, guys. I mean, it's just going to take a few minutes. Once you get it under your belt and you've done it a couple of times, you're going to be like, oh my God, KB, this was so easy. It really is. It just takes some practice, and it just takes some patience. So make sure you have your coffee with you. No wine, guys. Trust me, I tried that once with wine. It does not work. Things do not go well. Coffee or tea, chai tea, Starbucks, whatever you need. No liquor. Okay, so now we have this. We have this glorious document that's been edited and beta read and everything. Now you're saying, okay, well, KB, I put the title in there, I put the subtitle in there, I put my name in there, I put the copyright information that you given, because I have given as a sample of what you should be putting in there. I've listed my acknowledgments of my cover designer and my editor and my dedication. I've even put a quote in there. I'm ready. What do? You're going to go over to Smashwords and you're going to upload it. And when you do, knock on wood, it's going to come back with no AutoVetter issues, which means it will be approved for the premium catalog. You have to submit it for premium though. There's a green button. It'll be red first, and once you submit, it'll be green, and it'll tell you that it's pending. And then that's it. Smashwords is very simple as long as you do what they tell you to do. Now, you're like, okay, but I didn't want to go through the options. I didn't want to, because you have so many options to distribute on Smashwords. Like I said, iTunes, Sony, Kobo, Diesel, Page Foundry, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, all these places. I personally, I do let Smashwords distribute to Barnes & Noble for me with some of my books. And then other books I go through Pubit. I don't let Smashwords distribute for me for Amazon. I go right through KDP Select. And you're like, well, KB, that's what I want to do. I want to go through Smashwords for those other things, and I want to go through Pubit for Barnes & Noble, and I want to go through Amazon. I want to go through KDP for Amazon. Now, there are pros and cons to both of these. Personally, I'll probably be switching over all of my books to Barnes & Noble, and here's why. When you go through Smashwords to distribute to Barnes & Noble for you, you have to wait about 2 weeks when you submit it to go up. That's why all of my fans are always, why isn't this ready when it's on Amazon? I only have a Nook. I promise you guys from here on out I'll be putting it through Pubit, so you guys get it at the same time that my Kindle fans get it too. But there are different things that I need you to do with that document. So what I want you to do is, as soon as you've uploaded this to Smashwords and it tells you, okay, now it's pending, it's past AutoVetter, it's pending this, I want you to go into your email and email yourself that document and save it as the Smashwords copy of blah, 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 whatever your title is. In this case, it would be Little Red Riding Hood. And you're going to save it to your email. You're going to create a file in your email for that book. So covers, blurbs, and all of these different things. Because then you're going to take this document and you're going to copy the whole document. And to copy the whole document, if you go to the top of the title page and you click Control A, you'll see the whole document lights up. Right click, copy it, and you're going to paste it into a new document. You're like, oh my gosh, KB, really? Really? And I'll show you why, because we're going to make this work really simple for you. You're going to split this now into 2 documents after you've saved the Smashwords document to your email. This document you're going to save as Amazon. Okay? Because now what you're going to do is, after your title and name, you're going to, right after your name, and I mean the last letter of your name, you're going to click right there at the last letter of your name. Okay? We're going to go up to Insert when you see the things across the top, File, Home, Insert, Page Layout, Mailings, whatever. And I'm doing this on my son's computer because I know that a lot of you guys have only Microsoft Word Starter, and that was a couple of questions that I had gotten in emails before I did this. So I'm doing this specifically for you guys because I know some of you guys only have the Word Starter that came with your computers. And like on mine, I have the full Word, and so I have a bunch of things up there. So if you go to the top where it says File, Home, Insert, Page Layout, and Mailings, we're going to go to Insert. The third thing over, it says Cover Page, Blank Page, Page Break. That's the only click that we're going to be making on this document. Amazon requires page breaks because when people flip their Kindles, we want things on the correct page. We want the title of the book and the author on the first page. On the next page, we want copyright information. So after each section, we're going to click page break. And it needs to be at the very last word of that section where you click page break. It's going to break it down. At the very last letter of each chapter, we click page break. And that's it. That's all we had to do for Amazon. We saved the document with all of our new page breaks in it. We upload that to KDP. Guess what? It's done. Now, the other document that I had you copy, that we have a new one, that's going to be our Barnes & Noble one. Now, I want you to stay on okay, now for this one, we're going to go up top to where it says File, Home, Insert, and Page Layout. Now the last one for Amazon, we needed to go to Insert, right? This one we need to go to Page Layout, because exactly what you just did for Amazon, you're going to do again, but you're not going to use page breaks. You're going to use section breaks for Barnes & Noble. When you click that, you'll see themes and then page setup. And page setup, you'll see margins, orientation, size, columns. And then there's a little list of 3 things to the right, at the very end of this. And if you click on breaks, you'll go down and you'll see break, page, column, text wrapping, section. That's what we want. Is we want the first one in the section breaks, which is next page. So what you just did for Amazon, you're going to do it at page. You're going to break these things in exactly the same spot, but you're going to use a section break instead, because that's what Pubit requires. Now, I will say this. I know that publishing through Pubit, you could put it through without the section breaks, but when you see it on a Nook, it comes up so smushed. People complain about it a lot, and I've seen it. When I did Honeymoon, I saw it on there, like they have a preview screen. You'll be able to preview this before it goes out. And I previewed it, and it was all smushed together, and I'm like, oh my god, that cannot go out like that. And that's why it took a little bit longer, because I had to go through and read Pubit to see what exactly they required. And because I used the Amazon document changing the licensing to Barnes & Noble, but I used the Amazon document and it doesn't recognize, the software for Pubit doesn't recognize the page breaks that Amazon's does, so you have to use section breaks. And it tells you in the style guide, and I'm like, I'm a writer, I should have read, you know. So we put in the section breaks the way that we did with the page breaks, and that's all there is to it. That's really all there is to it. It's that simple. So there's no reason that any of you can't do this. It's going to take a little time for you to get used to it. I suggest create a fake document. Just create a document for you to practice with. You're not going to upload them to KDP, Smashwords, or Barnes & Noble, but create it so you get comfortable with the software. You want to get comfortable with Microsoft Word so you understand where you're going, because it's confusing at first. But then I also suggest that you read the style guides. Read it for Amazon, read it for Smashwords, read it for Barnes & Noble. Become very knowledgeable in this. This is your career, and you wouldn't want somebody to base your writing off of your formatting. You want them to base your writing ability on your writing. So give them every opportunity to look and say, wow, so-and-so author took the time to have it formatted properly. And the whole time you'll be able to sit back and smile and think, I did it myself. Now, if you guys are through this video and you guys say, there's no way I cannot do this myself, I don't have the time because I've got like 20 kids or something, because Jen, she has 5 kids and she is constantly moving. If you think it's just too difficult, before you absolutely give up on trying, like I said, create a fake document, just work with it, see what you can do, play with it. If not, if you honestly cannot get the hang of this, then contact somebody who can do it for you. It's going to cost you. People that do formatting, they are not cheap. And anyone who's cheap, remember the old adage, you get what you pay for. So pay for what you want. Make sure you pay for what you want. And what were our tips today? Never use tabs. Never, 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 never. And when we're spacing something to the center, never use the space button. Never. No, no, no. It's a no-no. Other than that, you guys, it's really simple. I've left you all the links. I've left you screenshots of each of these and step-by-step instructions for Smashwords, for Amazon, and for Barnes & Noble. If you guys have any further questions that weren't answered in this video, feel free to drop me a line, either at my email, kbmillerauthor@gmail.com. You can send a message through my website, kbmillerbooks.com, or you can leave a message or a comment right under this blog. I do get back to them. I try to get back to them as quickly as I can, but sometimes it takes a couple of days because I am writing and in the middle of a couple of things at one time right now. So, okay. Well, I think I've given you everything you need. And next week, this is seriously important, guys. I told you it was one of my pet peeves too. Beta readers. We're going to talk about beta readers. How to select an appropriate beta reader. With everything that's going on in the world right now, I know that a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I want somebody else to read my work because they could, they could take it. Now, here's the thing. Jen's going to get into all of that with you. And she's going to tell you how to select great beta readers and all of the yumminess that goes along with that, because that's one of my favorite things is when it's time for my book to go to a beta reader right before the editor. Love it. Okay, so tune in next week for that, and then I'll have you guys back again. I think, what is the day that I get you guys back? It's in February, but I want to say it's the 6th. Okay. I get you back on the 6th. And on the 6th, I'm talking to you guys about print book formatting. So, if you guys are having issues with print book formatting, then join me back on the 6th. And don't forget to join Jen next week for beta readers. And until next time, guys, twitchy witchy kisses. All my love.